Welcome back to another episode of Swim Lessons. I'm Dallas Hansen, and today's episode is Taco Dowler. Taco is a special teams return specialist, if you will. Had a couple really nice punt returns at his time at Montana State for the Bobcats there, and he's just a fun kid to talk to. I mean, just his conversation alone to chat with a kid who's that competitive, and he just finds an extra edge with that is a piece of this conversation that I think a lot of people can make applicable to their lives. But before we get to Taco's conversation, you guys have got to remember to like, subscribe, turn on every notification you can to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to Swim Lessons. Make sure you turn on those notifications so you know when we come out with a new episode. And if we have any other new content, whether it's a video log or just a regular blog or our website with merch, make sure you go ahead and turn those on. And also today I've got to thank a few sponsors. So without these sponsors, today's episode wouldn't have been possible. And my first one is Tegan's Interior, located in Crosby, North Dakota. Tegan's Interior is a locally owned family style place, and they've got everything from flooring products to kitchen products, lighting, paint, basically anything. If you're looking to furnish a new home or even refurbish an older home that you have, like I'm trying to do one day, give Tegan's a call, and they'll give you a free estimate. They do great work. It's owned by Tyler and Nikita Swanson here in Crosby, and they're great folks, and they'll do you right. Tell them Dal sent you. Their number is 701-965-6367, and that's Tegan's Interior, located on 22 Main Street, Crosby, North Dakota. Next is Pro Safe Services in Williston, North Dakota. At first-class pet control services, whether it's pest control, ground sterilization, tree and grass seeding. If you're looking to get some Scorio Red Rock, give Pro Safe a call and tell old Jarek Hansen down there that Dallas said, hey, you got the best Scorio in North America. I needed to do my road here in Williston or Crosby. But give Pro Safe a call. All jokes aside, it's a great company. They come and spray mostly every yard here in Crosby during the summer months to keep those dandelions down. Their number at Pro Safe Services is 701-774-3167. And again, that's Pro Safe Services, Williston, North Dakota. Next is Henny's Coffee. Dude, this is my favorite ad. No offense to all the others, but I love Henny's Coffee. It's located here in Crosby. It pretty much fuels the podcast. Anytime I'm gonna edit something and it's later in the morning, say around 11 noon, I'll go up there, get a caramel macchiato, put in 3 shots of espresso, and boom, Henny's Coffee. Now we're flying. That should be their new saying. But Henny's Coffee, located here on Main Street, Crosby, North Dakota. Stop in, and if you want to make like a big order to go, if you're just swinging through Crosby or you work at a company here or want to come up and see them, give them a call at 701-965-2182. Make sure you call Henny's Coffee. Also, that's Hennys Coffee. They're all over Facebook. And last but not least, I want to thank Up Top Clothing Company, Butte, Montana company. Up Top has got some of the best men's apparel, hats, Montana-inspired things. And I really like Up Top because they're just the clothing that they provide is top-notch. And Up Top does a great job with that. And they're a great company. So shout out Up Top. They're the best. And also I want to make sure I thank the Billings West High School Booster Club, as well as Bozeman High Booster Club, and all the AA coaches in Montana for making this possible. And if you have a company that's interested in possibly sponsoring the show, give me a call, 701-570-6592, or just hit us up on social media. All right, with all that said and done, let's go with Taco Dowler, Montana State Bobcats football player.
Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
Taco, thanks for coming on, man. Good to see you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
How does it feel to be back in Billings, Montana?
I love it. It's
Yeah.
a breath of fresh air for sure.
Because this is where you grew up.
Yep.
So it's always good to come back home.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the guy that I just interviewed, Rob Stan? He's your guy?
He's my guy, yeah.
That's awesome.
Favorite.
Well, you're coming off of your second season at Montana State.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your time with the Bobcats.
So last year I was able to. They threw me back at punt returner for the first game, and I did decent at it. I didn't drop any punts, so they kept me back there for the whole first year. And then I got hurt this off season and tore my shoulder up.
Okay.
Tore up everything in it except for my rotator cuff, and ended up redshirting this year. Played 5 games, I think, but yeah, it's been great. I love it there.
I gotta ask, how'd you get the name Taco?
It's a great question. I wish I knew. I know everyone always asks me that, and I don't have a story, but
Yeah.
I need to come up with a story.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try and think of something like that, but
Because you have a twin brother, right?
Yep.
So what was it like playing with your twin brother in high school? That's got to be a good feeling.
It was sweet, yeah. I mean, he played quarterback our freshman year. We were on the freshman team.
Okay.
And I just remember we'd look at each other and I'd be like, yeah, just throw it to me at this
No.
play. Yeah. So he'd get the ball, look at me, and then just throw it to me. So it was sweet. And then his second year, he didn't ever really play defense.
Mm-hmm.
I played corner my sophomore year. And then I was just went up to Coach Hollowell, the D coordinator, and I was like, Caden's a good athlete. He should try and play corner. So he ended up starting at corner that year. So it was sweet. We were both playing corner. And then we were both playing receiver our senior year. It's just sweet. You get to share the field with your best friend.
So that thing they say about twins, having kind of the same mind, just can read each other, that's true?
Kind of. We do a joke, we tell our friends, tell us to name a animal on the count of 3, and we always say monkey, numbers 15, colors red.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's we have it predetermined, and we just trick them all. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, tell me, man, what's it like to suit up? I mean, you come from a great school here in Billings, and then were you recruited by a few different colleges here in the area that you can talk about?
Yeah, so I was recruited by the NAIAs. I was recruited by kind of more my sophomore year, junior year. And then right before the state championship, I think it was the Monday before my junior year state championship, the Cats offered with Coach Choate and BJ Robertson. And the day after that, the Grizz offered. So kind of recruited in the state pretty heavily. And then outside the state, it was a couple schools here and there. But I kind of always wanted to stay in state. But I didn't really tell anyone that.
And you were recruited as a wide receiver or punt returner? What was?
Yeah, so I got lucky. I got implemented into a lot of kick return stuff here.
Okay.
I didn't punt return as much as you would have thought most people would think, just because my twin brother was such a good athlete and he played free safety. So I just look back there and just you go back there and you do it. So yeah, I got lucky that I had special teams film, so that helped my recruitment. But yeah, I got recruited to play receiver.
Okay.
More so the slot because I'm kind of a runt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing that a lot of people, when I was trying to figure out some questions to ask you, they talk about your competitive spirit.
Yeah.
What brings that out in you, Taco?
I think the fact that I am 5'8", 160 pounds. I mean, I'm not the strongest. I'm pretty smart. I like to think football wise, but I'm not the strongest, smartest, fastest. I had to have something above other people. So I think that's my mentality. I'm competitive. I'm gonna think I'm gonna win the game until the clock's at 0 and we lost. That's just how I am. That's how I was kind of raised to be. Caden kind of brought that out of me. But
I was going to say, do you think growing up with a twin brother that no matter where you're at, whether it's the backyard or football field or video games, it's just that's from the get-go?
Oh, yeah. We'll compete on everything.
Have any good stories?
There's not a great story, but we'll compete. I think when I was 10, maybe younger than that, we would do Wii bowling, and I'd go a 290. He'd get a 295. I'd go 299. He bowl 300. I'm oh my gosh. Or Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Just everything. If he had we used to jump up and touch the backboard and see who could get higher, and I'd never get higher than him, and it just pissed me off. And just compete in literally everything. Who could make your friends laugh the most? Who could do the stupidest? Who could hurt your body like just the most random stuff. So competing with him just in every aspect of life, whoever had the better grades was never me, but that's the same concept. Just compete in everything, like be competitive. That's how you win.
Well, it serves you well, man. I mean, you're doing well at Montana State. But one thing I wanted to ask too, Taco, was can you kind of talk about how AA football here in Montana prepared you to make this run that you're having at Montana State? Talk a little bit about that, how maybe Coach Stanton got you ready, or, practices. Just touch on that a little bit.
Well, so the first thing, when I was here, all I would hear is how we have the best coaches in the state. We have top caliber coaches. And I mean, you're in high school, you're like, oh yeah, the coaches are just saying that. I got to college and I was like, oh, that's really true. I got in the receiver room at Montana State, and the first film study we were going over coverages, and people that have been in the room for like 3 years didn't know what cover 4 was, cover 2 was, like what mix was, what palms was. And like I knew it like it was the back of my hand because of the coaching here. So that gave me a head, like I jumped into college with a head start just knowledge wise. And then the physical side, like Mark Johnston, he does the weightlifting. Mm-hmm. Like he does a speed programming. It's really, really similar to Montana State. So like
really,
it's almost like West here is just Montana State in high school level. So it's like you go there and you just keep walking. It's like you don't take any steps back. It's just the same type of program.
That's gotta be a good feeling.
So yeah, that's honestly my biggest takeaway is how at least West High football impacted me. How
about like on the field? Obviously, you're talking about video, but like on the field, how does AA translate to Montana State?
It's all just football. That's how I think about it. I mean, AA in Montana is the highest classification, so it's the best athletes. I mean, that's what I think. It's the best athletes in the state are always playing each other. So just a level of competition. There's always some kid in the state who's going to go, like Jacob Anderson, go to Oregon State from last year's team. There's always kids in the state that go and play legit D1 football. So playing against people like that, playing against people that go to Montana State, University of Montana, Junior Bergen, Trevin Gradney, just playing with those people and against those people kind of sets you up because they're great athletes and you play great athletes every single Saturday in college. So
yeah, that's a great point. That's a really good point, Taco. Take me back, Taco, to maybe one of your favorite high school games. Since we're in the building close to the field, take me back to one of your favorite games that comes to mind.
Yeah, so that's a tough.
It can be a win or loss.
It's not a loss, that's for sure. We didn't have much of them, but they stung. Favorite moment that wasn't me was, I remember Michael DeLeon was our running back, and I think it might have been against Bozeman, maybe my senior year, maybe my junior year. We had nothing on offense, and I think he might have been third and goal or fourth and goal or something like that from like maybe the 8, and he got the ball, kind of got stuffed at the line, and just did not stop moving. Like he was stuffed at the line 8 yards to go. I don't know how they didn't call it dead and ended up pushing the pile. It was probably a 30-second play.
Really?
And ended up scoring, and it was like a huge
momentum
momentum boost.
On it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it was like a huge momentum boost for us, and we ended up winning that game.
How big is this kid that was running the ball?
Not big. Not a running back size. He's at I think Tech right now.
Okay.
He went to Rocky and then transferred to Tech, but he was probably my size, 5'9", maybe 10 pounds heavier from 180.
So just gritty.
Yeah.
Ready to go, competitive.
Yeah, so that was one of the coolest moments. And then, we had a couple good moments in the games that were close. Like we went and played Sentinel our senior year, the first game in Washington Grizzly, and it was super close, and we ended up losing by like 3 or something like that. But that was just a fun game. It was back and forth. So
good one to be a part of.
Yeah.
So when you go from kind of being the dude here to Montana State. You're kind of restarting. What is that? What's that feeling like?
Humbling.
Yeah.
I think you need that. I was cocky. I come out of high school. I was cocky.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have a certain amount of that confidence, cockiness, especially if you're, like I said, 5'8", 5'9", just under the radar, kind of. But yeah, it's just humbling to go there and you're kind of here. You're kind of a big fish in a little pond, and there you're back at the bottom. You're bottom of the depth chart. So it keeps you hungry. It keeps you wanting to work harder every single day. It's honestly more fun. Like, I kind of liked working up. Like, see my name 4th on the depth chart, and I'm like, yeah, well, screw that. I'm better than these 3. So kind of go and prove yourself. Yeah.
That's a good mindset.
Yeah. It's just, you got to be confident. That's, I think, what everything boils down to. Life, confidence, and competitiveness. That's all you need to have.
Do you like just put it on yourself, certain workouts, or like what gives you that confidence? Because it's not like we were talking about. It's not just you're not just born with confidence.
Yeah.
It's got to come from somewhere. Where does Taco's confidence come from?
Preparation. I think, if anything, like, the more you do something, the more confident you'll be. Practice, preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if confidence comes from like an outside source, then it's not real. Like, if your confidence comes from what your coaches think of you or what your parents think of you, that's the worst. It's like when your parents are telling you one thing and you're like, just let me be. But yeah, no, my confidence comes from preparation for sure. If I caught 100 balls, I catch 100 balls a day, and I mean, I'd still drop passes when I shouldn't, but that's what makes me like have the mentality of like, well, I don't drop 2 in a row. I'll catch the next one, but it's all preparation.
Well, keep that mindset, kid. That's going to take you a long ways. That was impressive to say. Now let's talk a little bit about your first game dressing up for Montana State. When you run out that tunnel and you go to the stadium, what was that feeling like?
So we have something in our receiver room called a hot seat. So you sit down and you answer some questions from your coach to get it's at the start of the year for your receivers to get to know you better. And one of the questions is like your favorite moment, like favorite football memory and stuff like that. And that was mine. It was Gold Rush freshman year, running out, seeing 25,000 people just all yellow. It was one of the coolest moments of my life for sure. But yeah, it's sweet, and it sucks I only get 4 or 5 of them, but it makes them all that much better too.
When you're playing the Grizz, and you got to be honest here, do you get amped up a little bit more, or what's the team like? Take me to the locker room.
Yeah, so when we had the trophy, because we lost this year.
Yep.
You go and you touch the trophy every single day. Every time you walk by it, it's in the locker room. You have to touch it.
Every single day?
Every day. Every time you walk by it. So if you're going to treatment, if you're going to lift, touch it, come back, touch it. You have to touch it every time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. At least that's how we do it. I don't know how.
So now that's not there. What you just thinking about it every day?
Yeah, there's a pyramid of our goals and stuff like that. So we kind of look at that, but we don't touch the non-existent trophy anymore. But that week is crazy. We have guest speakers every single day, either Zoom or come in person.
What kind of speakers have you had in the past?
This year we had Troy. We had a running back named Logan last year. We had, who else did we have this year? Conkle, Braden Conkle.
Okay. Yep.
He came in and talked, and you just see all the passion.
Yeah.
Whenever they talk, it's all passion. It's like, we don't like them over the hill, and that week is sweet. I don't necessarily get more jacked up for it. I'm so different with game days. Like, I used to, when we'd take the bus over to Dallas and play, I'd take a nap.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I am. I'm kind of calm and chill. I'm not all rah, but some kids are.
Well, they say Tom Brady took a nap before his first Super Bowl. So,
really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to
I
have.
didn't even know that. That's sweet.
Yeah. Let's talk about your quarterback, Tommy. Getting a lot of publicity the last few years. Seems like a really great player, a really good person. What's Tommy like to be your quarterback?
It's sweet. It's sweet. More than just at quarterback, as the leader of the team. Him and Sean Chambers did a really good job this last year. he's just a great person. He's what you want to like. He's what you want. Everyone jokes. He's what you want your daughter to date.
Yeah,
he's just perfect. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't miss workouts. He doesn't miss reps at all. He's doing stuff after. He's doing stuff before. He's living football, school. He's got a 4.0. He's a good person. He's exactly who you want leading your team and exactly who you want at quarterback. And then on the field, I mean, everyone sees what he does. He's can run the ball, can throw the ball, can go down in 2-minute situations and deliver. He could probably kick if he wanted to. He could do whatever. It's just sweet having that as a quarterback.
Because where did he go to high school again? He went
to Butte.
So you played against him?
Yeah, my sophomore year, he beat us in the semis at Butte, and he ended up losing to Bozeman in the state championship that year.
Did he ever give him any shit about that, or
no?
Not really.
No.
I suppose he's the guy throwing you the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about NIL deals. It's kind of a new thing for you guys. What has that been like for you, Taco?
It's been sweet. There's been I've had a couple of really good opportunities to do a commercial here and there. I think it's more so than all the benefits of like money or food or merchandise. You get to meet people. You get to market yourself. You get to actually get paid. You get to reap the benefits of being a good person. And
yeah,
that's what I think NIL is all about. There's collectives to where you kind of can donate to a collective fund. For like the Bobcats, we have a Bobcat collective, and it split up evenly between all the roster players.
So it's everybody gets the same amount, basically.
Everyone gets a cut. Yeah, I don't know if they do that differently at higher end FBS schools or what, but it's sweet. It's changed the game of college football, obviously.
You think for good or bad?
There's good and bad. I think it hurts some of the lower end FCS teams. It's good. It's keeping people in college football. Like, if you're getting paid $2 million to be a quarterback at Alabama, why would you go to the draft if you have another year of eligibility? Like,
right.
I think it's helping that. I think there's good and there's bad. It's helping kids, but at the same time, if you're a college athlete and you're getting paid more than your coach, are you going to listen to him as much? I don't think so.
Right.
It creates a lot of good. I think way more good than bad, but with everything else, there's pros and cons.
Well, I went on your Instagram, and I was looking at some of your posts, and one of the posts you returned a punt, and your caption was taco time.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want you to take me to when you return punts, specifically at Montana State. What's kind of your mindset, or what do they coach you there to like take a fair catch? Does a guy have to be 10 yards from you, 15 yards, or they just leave it up to you? Tell me the taco mindset.
So my mindset, I mean, to be a punt returner, in my opinion, you have to be tough and you have to be fearless. And you can't fake that. I think Junior Bergen does a good job of it too. And we talk a little bit, and what we have in common is that fearlessness. You go back there, and it's kind of like everyone says cornerback is an island. Like, no.
Yeah.
Punt returning is you're on an island.
It's literally an island, yeah.
I like, what I do is I go out there. I feel like I'm always punt returning the same way. I never punt return to my defense doesn't like to stop them if I'm going to get the ball going to the student section for some odd reason. So I feel like I'm always punt returning towards the facility. So I go out there, and it's kind of bold behind me, the stands is. So I look around and see the crowd jumping up and down because it's fourth down for the offense.
Right.
And you kind of feed off of that. You're like, this is sweet. Like, let's do it. Obviously, a little bit of nerves when you run out there because you are on an island. But it's sweet. So I usually get a read off the ball. They punt it, and then I look down at the line to see who gets out free.
Like on the bullets?
Yeah. So
okay.
The bullets usually one of the two will have a better chance of getting down to make me fair catch the ball. But also the long snapper half the time is not hinging back. He's coming free too. So depending on how athletic their long snapper is, I'll get a count in my head. Usually I look up at the ball, then I look down and see all the people coming, and then I just you can kind of feel it to see if you're going to fair catch it or not. I don't like to fair catch the ball.
take a chance.
Yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes that gets me in trouble. Against the Grizz, I actually muffed a punt.
Oh shit.
Because I did that. I threw my hand up way too late, and they were close. So I don't know what happened or how it happened, but I think that's the only time I ever really muffed a punt. But sometimes it can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the greatest position. I love it so much.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody growing up like Devin Hester or Dante Hall that you really looked forward to, that you steal a few moves or really looked up to?
Mine wasn't necessarily all those guys, but like I just remember watching like Gabe Solser from senior. He went to U of M and then ended up going to Texas. I remember watching him, like, even though junior's a year older than me, I remember watching him when I was a freshman and he was a sophomore. Like, even still now, we both talk, and it's just like, it's sweet. I still look up to him, and he's only a year older than me. So people like that, Jesse Owens a little bit, it's just all of that. You could try and take all their game and kind of take the best parts of it and what you can kind of do with it and morph it into your own.
So that's a good way to put it. Morph it into your own, kind of tailor it to whatever your skill level is. What's the future look like, man? What's the future for Taco Time?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm just gonna day by day. Work as hard as I can and figure it out.
Yeah.
Be competitive and
hell yeah,
just figure it out.
Let's talk a little bit about your head coach here, Coach Stan. What does Coach Stan mean to you?
A hell of a lot more than football. We text probably weekly, probably every other week, probably. Like he's one of those people that just impacts your life more than most people understand. High school for everyone is tough.
Yeah,
like everyone is tough. Everyone has something they're going through, but most people, I was going through some stuff like everyone else, no worse or better. It's all conceptual, but and he helped a lot. I remember there was this one couple weeks, I think it was my senior year. It was pretty bad, where Kate and I were just going through some stuff, and he was just there helping us out. He's like, you can come have lunch with me, like do whatever, come to my room, hang out. Just one of those people that is doing coaching for the right reasons.
Important guy.
Not necessarily for all the wins, all those help, but when I'm able to text him and I'm having a bad day and he'll build me up, that's way more important than if we win a state championship my senior year or not. Like, he's just that type of guy. Like, just some guy you're gonna have around all the time and looking out for the betterment of you.
Yeah. Well said, Taco. Well said. Okay, we've been going out this for right about 25 minutes. We got 2 segments left. Okay, then we'll get you out of here. This one's called 10 for 10. Okay, and you remember my name's Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Taco, these are 10 questions. You got to answer them as quick as you can. There's no right or wrong answer. But are you ready?
Sure.
And away we go. Cat or dog?
Dog.
Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Palm trees or evergreen trees?
Palm.
Lake or ocean?
Lake.
Favorite actor?
Will Smith.
Favorite band or rapper?
Oh, Drake.
Awesome. Okay. What city in Texas has an NBA mascot nicknamed the Mavericks?
Dallas.
What city in Texas has an NFL team nicknamed the Cowboys?
Dallas.
What city in Texas spelled backwards reads salad?
Dallas.
Who is your favorite podcaster and new friend?
Dallas.
There we go, buddy.
It's a good one.
Thanks, Taco. So to end here, Swim Lessons, the podcast, is about overcoming the tough times. You touched on it a little bit there about Coach Stan, but Taco, leave us with something that maybe you say when your back's against the wall and maybe somebody can find applicable to their life.
I think everyone struggles. I think especially college athletes and even high school athletes struggle. Mental health. A lot of people think it's like, oh, mental health, you're a man, toughen up, like swallow it, you're fine. But I think just talk to someone. Like, if you are struggling with something real and it is real, like, try and convince yourself you're fine. But if it is real and it is really bothering you, mental health, talk to someone you trust. It's huge. I'm lucky I have Caden. I have someone like Coach Stanton. I have someone like resources at Montana State. Like, you just talk to people when you're struggling with confidence in life, in football. The power of mentioning it to someone and just getting it off your chest is huge. So don't try and be a macho man, and just talk about your feelings every once in a while. I think it's huge. I think it'll help your life, everyone's life, because everyone struggles. And if it's small for you, it's huge for someone else. It's all equal. So just talk.
Hey, that's well said.
Yeah.
That's well said for a young guy like you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you have a plug that you want to do? Anything? Where can people find you on Instagram?
I don't even know.
That's all right.
Just search taco. I'm sure you'll find something.
Well, hey man, I've only known you for around an hour, but I'm a fan. I think you're a good kid, and I'm excited for your future.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, everybody. That's Taco. That's a wrap. Thanks.